Welcome to the Brave Home Service Pro podcast, where we're all about helping blue-collar business owners like you to unlock your inner business beast. I'm your host, Lee Miller, a seasoned home service and construction industry veteran turned business coach. In this podcast, I'll teach you how to break free from your own limitations, gain the knowledge, tools, and mindset to succeed, and guide you as you trailblaze your way to the top of your industry. My system is simple: set bold goals and take brave action to achieve them. Together, we'll build your business into its full potential. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and join our Facebook group for more tips and tricks to boost your business using the link in the show notes. Now let's dive into the Brave Home Service Pro podcast. Your journey to business greatness begins right here. Hey folks, welcome back to the Brave Home Service Pro podcast. Today I am joined by none other than the famous or infamous Hunter Kemp of Nano Seal in Florida. Hunter is absolutely killing it down in South Florida with his paver sealing business, and we wanted to get him on here today to share some of his tips and tactics on how he grew his business, what he struggled with, and how you can take your business to a similar level no matter what your trade or industry is. Hunter, thanks for coming on the show, man.
What's going on, man? I like doing these podcast things. Maybe I can help motivate some of these other freaking guys out here to get off their ass and do something.
100%. They definitely need that, But hey, let's do this. Give me a quick overview of your business. What does your team look like? Tell us about revenue. Tell us about all the good juicy numbers that we want to hear.
All right, boom. So late December 2023, I'm in a halfway house in Rehab in South Florida because my mama and brother sent me down here because I'm fucking my life up. All right. So boom, I'm in a rehab facility and I'm in the back of a transport van going to and from this, I guess the treatment center, right? So they would take you from halfway. I'm finally in halfway. I've gone through the program like 6 months later. I'm in it. Boom. And I keep driving around all these rich ass neighborhoods here in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm like, dang, everybody's got a lot of pavers here. And back where I'm from, every other driveway sealed, right? Like every fourth driveway has got a fat freaking sealing market there. Like, people are sealing pavers back Central Florida where I'm from. Here in South Florida, I'm like, dang, why is there all these houses that are, man, the cheapest house I've seen is probably $2 million. I was like, it's got to be pretty easy to go door to door over here and sell these services. And I mean, I'm down on my ass. I ain't got really nothing else to do. So I got a bunch of guys in the rehab together. Boom. And I said, listen, guys, this is what paver sealing is. I'm going to pay you this fat commission. I'm going to put you guys in uniform. And you and me and all these other degenerates are going to go door to door and start selling paver sealing. Okay. So boom. But I didn't actually brand to Nano Seal until like January once I'm out of that. So it was just basically the intro start to get off the ground and do something. No driver's license, no nothing. And I'm going to sell these services and then sub the pressure washing out to some other company and then freaking get the job done. Because I knew how to do the process, but we're just trying to get that intro revenue to get something rolling from dead zero. How can we start a business with $0? And that was the only way to do it. That's easy transactionary money. Didn't start Nano Seal until January when I met my business partner that you see me with on these podcasts sometimes, Jack, because I was subbing pressure washing out beforehand. And Jack was a pressure washer, right? And I finally go through like 6, 7 pressure washers I'm really not happy with. None of these guys, they're pressure washers as you can think. Really low rent, half-ass, guy in a truck, trying to make transactionary revenue. And I'm over here, dang, I'm trying to really show people I'm not that guy. I need to get somebody that's not that guy. So I got a kid. He's straight out of college. He's been in pressure washing here for a little bit. Just the nicest guy, never been in trouble, doesn't drink, smoke, do drugs. I don't even think this guy gets speeding tickets. And he is just a good quality person you would look for. So I'm like, I got Jack here. I like old Jack. And so next thing you know, we've branded under Nano Seal, and we've really taken off from there. And I run sales, he runs operations, and we just hammer it.
Beauty. Okay, so you've got some support on the back end from an operations standpoint. You're in sales. That's crazy, man. So you're coming out of rehab. You're looking for something to do. In a little bit here, you've managed to build a $1.3 million business.
Now we're doing $50,000 a week.
So it's a coatings business, right? But one of the questions that I did want to ask, and this comes back to the typical makeup of what like a home service company would look like, who does like pressure washing and stuff like that. Typically, they would go pressure washing is the main product, with offshoot being paver sealing, right, or roof sealing as like a byproduct. You've done the opposite, right? You've went paver sealing as your main product, and then the pressure washing is more of an add-on or an upsell. Is
There's
that
not
correct?
enough margins in pressure washing, and we're in South Florida where they've already severely diluted the market. So when you analyze the surrounding areas, that was the only thing that made sense for me to like. I know I can sell and keep this business booked up. I did not want to have to bust my ass triple the work just to get the same amount of gross revenue. I mean, the
Right.
amount of stops and coordination you have to make throughout the day just to keep a pressure washing business to this operating scale is quite significant. And you have to have a lot of coordination, more support, route optimization. It's not something, and you have to build more relationships. So that's something you don't just hop into and immediately take over, because your commercial clients, things you rely on for these big ticket items, aren't
Mhm.
going to just come like that. It's kind of
Right.
difficult to do. But this was something you could immediately employ multiple different sales tactics from door to door, from Facebook all the way down, and kind of hit them from all angles and get the show on the road.
Gotcha. So average job size wise, when it comes to the paver sealing, is a lot more than what you would typically get just
Yeah,
from pressure wash,
we're at
right?
$300 right now is our average ticket.
Wow.
So our average invoice, it was down. I have a buddy over in Tampa area, Lucas with Fortress Paper Sealing. His is about that as well, 2,300 bucks. That's his
Okay.
average invoice.
Gotcha. And do you think that it's mainly just down to the size of the homes that are in your area as your typical client?
Yeah, you're also hitting with the upsells too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Talk me through
you're
that process. Tell me about the upsells though. Like, if you're going out to do a paver sealing job, like when does your upselling start, and what's your technique for upselling?
Oh, I obsess over sales, sales agenda, and other sales of that nature. I consistently try to see, okay, how can I separate this person from their money and provide a service in the meantime? I need to move money from this bank account to this bank account. Okay, multiple ways to do it. Now, we are not in a recurring revenue system, but we've started to employ recurring revenue systems with warranty upcharges. So, say my basic warranty package is 2 years, right? I'm going to upsell a 3 year warranty, which might involve a recurring service, may or may not, but I know it's going to involve recurring revenue. So I can get this customer on another $9.99, $19.99, or $29.99 a month. And those start to add up like Netflix. Okay. Recurring revenue model is, if you can move any traditional transactionary business over to recurring revenue, you can kill it. I'm at like $8,700 a month right now in recurring revenue of people I don't even see.
Wow. It sounds like you listened to the last podcast we did about contractors needing to do monthly recurring revenue systems in their business. Um, I would totally agree with you, man. I think that a hybrid between the actual service work, but then having that recurring revenue can really fill your winter months, right? When it's not so
Mhm.
warm or when you're getting bad weather, keep the cash flow going. So yeah, so extended warranty, is that the play?
Yeah, we upsell warranties. If we're there, we're gonna upsell a roof wash. We'll upsell roof wash, house wash, soft wash, any kind of additional services that we can provide instantly because we have the equipment outside. And a lot of these times, I'm not upselling these customers immediately at closing of their service. I'm coming back on the end. How'd you like our service? Oh, we also offer this extended warranty option,
Yeah.
but you can either upsell a hassle free or just upsell a 3 year warranty term, and it goes from there. And you can explain the differences with them. But the number one thing I did in this business was not listen to anybody else in this business. No,
Okay.
rule of thumb:
Interesting. Yeah.
don't listen to anybody else. Especially now, there's a few guys that got like 30 trucks on the road, and you understand they comprehend something differently. But the
Yeah.
guys that have been in the business for 10 years and only have 3 trucks, I'm sitting here like, shit, I can do that in a few months. Why I gotta listen to you, asshole? Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, which actually leads me to one of my next questions. We have a closed Facebook group for home service pros. Uh, and one of the questions that did come through is, what is the secret to Nano Seal's rapid success, right? Because you've not been around for that long and you're already hitting that 1.3 million. There's clients of mine that have came to me at 1.3 and it's taken them 16 years to get there or
Mm-hmm.
15 years to get there. Like, what's your what's your process there? How have you scaled up so fast? Is it
I don't overhire. So when I overbook, I have a team of subcontractors I can call to come and prep work for me. So our
mm,
actual in-house team fluctuates, but it's not really that big. It's not as big as you think it would be. So it's
right?
just the crazy part. But I have tons of reliable people that I've vetted throughout this process that when I'm overbooked, I call them, hey, I need you to show up and prep this job. I need you to clean and sand it, and then we'll come through and seal it because I don't really trust anybody else to seal it, to tell you the truth. Our techniques applying sealer aren't really like what you hear about in these groups. I don't trust these guys to give good information, especially my local competitors, with the exception of a few like Tyler Benz and Garfield, Rockstars, awesome, Danielle at Trident. I would consistently tell them how awesome they are. But there are others that will intentionally give you bad advice to slow you down. Okay. And the
Oh,
very
of
first
course.
time I
Yeah.
met one of these guys, and I'm a few months in, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And then I stopped listening to everybody.
No
And I think
way.
if it wasn't for that, for me to stop listening because he said something one time and I was like, that doesn't sound right. You forget I've been in the trades for 10 years. I'm in just a new trade. I don't believe you. And after then, I looked at everything skeptical, and I was
Mhm.
like, I think we can do things differently. This is
Yeah.
different approach, and I'm leveraging. I'm not using trying to stack all this cash in order to be secure in the future. We are taking deposits on jobs, 50% deposits, and it makes it a lot easier to operate because there's are times when I have not managed the money correctly, almost dipped this thing down completely. Because believe me, that happens. But there's a happy dance going on here where you're trying to maintain stable growth without overextending yourself or your team. And that's
Cool. Yeah, that's the balance, right? Like it's the hard balance of the sales to capacity conundrum. But I love that you said that you complement it with subcontractors as well, because I think a lot of guys are scared to hire subcontractors in addition to their team. And it's for me personally, when I was doing this with my painting company, I would have in the summer when we were really busy being a seasonal business, we would have a team of subcontractors that we pull in just for the summer for that exterior work. And I found that you need to spend as much time interviewing to recruit a subcontractor as you do a normal employee, right? Like the rules don't change just because they don't work for you as an employee contract, but you should still be spending a lot of time actually putting time into interviewing. We actually did a podcast episode all about finding subcontractors about 2 months ago. And I tell a really interesting story about a subcontractor who burned me, and I lost a ton of money through it. Would you agree that it's that system where like you can either learn through having conversations and then outsourcing that knowledge, or you just have to fuck it up and then learn from that
I
mistake
mean,
and keep going?
in construction, I with subcontractors, I have been through it with those guys. But in pressure
Mhm.
washing, you're in the groups, you kind of get to know people from a distance. It's kind of weird in the
Right.
local market. And so the next thing you know, you just hit them up one day. Hey, I need help down here. Would you mind doing this? Here's what I'll pay. And most of the time they're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And we're in paver sealing, so we already have the margins. So what if I make less money on this job? But any money is better than no money. I know that much.
You can add to the volume, right? If you
Hmm.
do. So you spoke about average job size already. You've talked to us about revenue and what you guys are doing right now. I want to get a sense of that pivotal moment for you where you realized about knowing your numbers and tracking those numbers and what they meant for your business. Like, how do you use those numbers to make decisions and then grow your business?
There is a guy, I can't remember his name. He's on YouTube. He runs the Gosta Lawn Care. You see him everywhere. He's got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
CR, whatever his name is. And he was doing a whiteboard presentation about how much revenue you should be generating per employee.
Hmm.
And what they were getting in the lawn service business, I was like, I think that's something that we should push for in paver sealing. he was saying that one guy, your revenue generating employee, should be at $350,000 gross revenue per employee. And I was like, this system that everybody else has set up for that, they're putting two-man teams out there. There's no way you can fit this. So I think you will have to move towards a solo operator model for your infield technicians, but you can assume more upfront cost and really hammer out their gallons per minute on equipment. So instead of going out there with 8 gallons, go out there with 17 to 21 gallons on their equipment and power through this stuff. Take their 1 gallon seal pumps and upgrade them to 2 gallons and make everything that much faster.
Right.
On, off, shut offs, because that's what we're building out right now. And I'm like, most of these jobs could be done with a single person, and I could be making that extra money on each job. And it typically pays for themselves with just one upfront cost of equipment.
Gotcha. So you've chosen to invest in the equipment rather than the man hour, right?
Once that equipment's paid off, mistakes on job sites that involve extra man hours and lack of efficiency don't become an exponential problem. So once you have equipment, you can be more, sounds bad, you can be more lackadaisical in your efficient operations because you're not so worried about it.
Right.
Okay, what am I doing right now on Friday at 3 o'clock where my guys are in the field? And what I've been doing all day? Talking shit to y'all on the internet because I know everything's going on great out there.
Yeah.
I have no problems. I have no problems because we've been doing the same thing. We've actually, even though we're doing a significant amount of revenue, we have actually, up until the last 2 weeks, we had lowered how much revenue we were generating per week so that we could regroup for the next phase of what we're doing with putting equipment first over man hours, because I was the opposite before.
Gotcha. So you're focusing on scaling back your revenue, but going more on the efficiency, the production,
Hmm.
and then the actual profitability of your jobs instead. So
Yeah, yeah, that's the plan. That seems like to be a better plan, and that's actually towards our scalability model, which is that. So
mhm,
one guy in a truck, there doesn't seem to be a reason why you shouldn't be shooting for one guy in one truck, $350,000 gross revenue a year.
mhm.
That should be what you are aiming for. And I'm dead ass serious. And down here in South Florida, where we don't get shit for price, if we can do it in South Florida, y'all can do it anywhere else.
Yeah,
I'm not doing nothing special.
yeah. Do you think that because of your territory, because you are down in South Florida, where climate wise it's typically a lot warmer than say the Midwest or even like the northern states, do you feel like you get a longer run at it? Obviously,
Oh, we're year round.
yeah, yeah.
Even during the cold months, and I want to go visit my mother in Central Florida, there's like a 12-degree difference. I've put a
Mm,
sweater on down here like 4 times. I mean, this is Los Olas Boulevard right here behind me. If I just
yeah.
go out this little door right here, this is downtown Fort Lauderdale. I mean, I'm living in a building. Let's go peek over this ledge right here, and you can see downtown Fort Lauderdale. Just people hanging out. Summer running. It's the dream. It's amazing. It's the best.
Yeah. I
Yes,
am going
this
to change
is.
my line of questioning there though, because we do have a lot of listeners who are up in Canada where, we've had a winter where it's been minus 20, minus 40 Celsius. So they're probably going, there's no way I can do year round.
No, you
But
can't.
there's something you can do year round.
Yeah, wait, snow removal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you know what, man? I follow this guy, and I've mentioned him on probably 4 podcasts now. His name is Stefano Narducci. Great kid. He's in his 20s. He followed Gary V's handbook like to a T. He's posting like 5, 6 times a day. He's doing a great job of that content marketing, just like you're trying to do as well. Highly recommend you follow him for sure. But
I'm
yeah,
going to, now that you said that. I
he's
follow
really
it.
good,
As soon
man.
as somebody recommends somebody to me, I'm off on it.
Oh, yeah. So I want to make sure that we capture some tips that a guy sitting listening to this who decided, hey, I'm gonna have a change of mindset after listening to Hunter, and I'm gonna go light this shit up. So if it was a contractor who was making sales but they're not profitable, what should they look at to fix first? Like, what would you recommend? What's the first thing they should look at?
Let me tell you how much I have fucked up as a contractor in my past. Okay. And I should have listened to my father. My dad's 86, 7. My dad's old as shit, right? But he is an experienced businessman. And I remember one time I was hemorrhaging money in construction. I mean, $21,000 a week payroll, just getting hammered. He told me to do one thing: stop all jobs, stop them, stop them dead in their tracks, send everybody home, deal with the customer fallout. And he said, you know what you do? And like, for just give yourself a few days off. He said, go make a few sales, collect a few money, and bring half of your labor force back. Bring half. Slow everything down. I wish I would have listened to him. I wouldn't have had to ask my parents for like $30,000, but it happened. And now looking back, and even over the course, don't let me tell you, operations this past year have been phenomenal, because they have not been. I've had
Mhm.
times where I'm like, oh, we have too many guys here. We have too many guys. We're running too hard. We're not running efficient. I don't actually think I'm profitable, to keep performing at quality of work. And I have told guys to stay home. I'm getting back out in the field with Jack. Jack, send everybody home. Me and you will take care of this stuff. We'll get everything caught back up. I'll deal with the customer fallout. It's fine. As long as you're in constant communication, I promise you, answer that phone when they call, regardless if they're mad or not. When your customer's mad, 100% of the time you answer it, good or bad, rain or shine. Answer that phone. I promise
Mhm.
you, they will respect you more if you tell them the truth. Tell them what's going on. Tell them. Be like, hey, listen, I need to slow down. I need to move your job from Thursday this week to, I don't know. I'll get to it in another 5, 6, 7, 10 days. I promise you I would get it there. Please don't ask for a refund because I can't afford it, but I will get to your job.
Gotcha. So it's about over communicating, even if there is a problem, because you don't want the client to find out about the problem first and then come to you. You want to
Oh,
communicate it yourself, right? Yeah.
I had to do that probably maybe March of last year, probably about this time, January, March, April. Yeah, I had to send everybody home, and Jack and I had to go pick up the slack because I mean I'm in a new business. I'm just learning out how to operate the stuff as it is. I
Yeah.
just started using Jobber. I just started running Facebook ads. Shit's a little bit too hot. We're not as efficient. We're still defining our roles. I
Gotcha.
mean, growing pains, standard growing pains, they happen, but you got to go and do it. You're not just going to lay there and give up.
Of course.
So
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
we really didn't have money for like 6 months. We were
Right.
definitely struggling to get over that curve of paying two salaries, which are Jack and myself, barely covering bills, this, that, and the other. But once it took off, it went. And of course, it really took off when I got rid of certain people that were holding down our business, the
Hmm.
weak links, the people that suck the life out of your business. As soon as I cut them, it was off to the races. That
Yeah.
was really a defining point. That
Yeah.
really was.
I feel you. Yeah, I've definitely been in that position before. I remember firing all 10 team. I got to 10 guys, scaled the business up to 10 guys, and then one day I fired all of them. Fired everyone. I pulled my sales guy in. I pulled my ops guy in. I'm like, guys, we're gonna paint, and this was like, $50,000, $60,000 worth of work on the schedule, and having to call the clients and be like, hey, we're sorry. If you want to bail out, you can, but if you want to wait for us, we're gonna rebuild the team or we're gonna come out and do it ourselves. And it was hard, but I think it took that level of just clean slate. Let's rebuild this from scratch the way that we want it. And I think it comes down to you see things from a different level once you get to that stage. You get to that stage and you're like, you know what? I thought it was going to be different with 10 guys. I thought it was going to be different with, an admin person and an ops manager and a sales manager. But why does this suck? I thought I was supposed to be happy. All right, screw it. Let's clean slate. Let's start again and build it the way that we want it.
I have really learned less is more. I
Yeah.
have learned the less people, less in field moving parts that you have with employees, as much as our group now is awesome. But I'm definitely nervous about hiring people. I don't
Mhm.
like it. That's one of my biggest concerns. And I'm more willing to give the wrong person a chance just because I see some of the bad character traits that I evolved from in them. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Nah.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? So if you did have a couple of employees who you hired and it gets to 3 or 6 months and you have to let them go, like where do you see the bottleneck in let's say your recruitment process or potentially the way that you onboard or orientate them into the business? Like where's the bottleneck for you and what are you
I
going to do to fix it?
I am currently I'm not hiring any more people here for like a little while, but I have a massive hiring process coming up soon where I'm gonna have to hire a significant amount of people, and I'm going to refrain from saying the quantity because it
Mhm.
is a significant amount. But, and I'm sitting here, damn it, how am I going to encounter this crossroads when I get to it? So I know the first concept, slow to hire, quick to fire. Easy.
Yeah.
Take your time. Don't rush and hire a person just because they're in front of you now, right?
Mhm.
You know, you're so quick to take somebody because I think this will be okay. I'll just take this person. They're here now, they're willing to work. But that's not really how it works. I
Yeah.
want to hire somebody that if roles were reversed, I am willing to work for myself.
You would work for
That
them.
is what that's what I'm putting first and foremost. That right there, because I have thought about this and thought about it and thought about it, and that's the number one thing I'm going to do. Swear to
Yeah.
God, that's it.
Yeah. I absolutely love that statement. I don't want to hire anyone who I wouldn't work for myself. That's so cool, man. You know, we've all been in this situation where we have hired people in and we've learned the hard way. And the sad thing about it is it takes 3 to 4 months for you to be like, hey, this isn't a competency thing. They're just not committed. And if that's someone
Mhm.
who's in more of a seasonal business like pressure washing, like exterior painting, that's your peak season when you can't
Yeah.
afford to lose that guy. And we do fall into that trap of saying, hey, if you've got hands, hands and a pulse, we'll bring you on. And 9 times out of 10, it does lead to that. Funnily enough, Matt, one of my best painters ever had only had one hand. He had one prosthetic and he painted with his other one. He was great, dude. He was amazing. Best employee ever. But yeah, dude, I think when it comes down to it, right, like we need to go back to core values. We try to look for what we see in ourselves with our potential employees and go, hey, like I want to like this guy. I want to personally feel connected to this guy. And that comes down to
Mhm.
your at the base root, your core values, right? Sure, you've got a colored past of, going to rehab and having all these problems, right? Like, but ultimately, you're a dude who cares about your customer. You want to build a community within your own business and you want to do a good job. And if you make some good money from that at the end of the day, everybody wins, right?
Gotta make some money. Trying to tell
Absolutely.
you, gotta
Yeah.
make some money.
Remind
Yes.
me after this. I'll send you a video of a training that I did. It's called the Gapology Framework, and it's all about
Yeah.
recruiting the right people at the right time. It's pretty powerful. But yeah, man, I think I
Hmm.
think you're bang on, and I love the goal for expansion. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Right?
I've tried to rap it before. Get
Mhm.
into, I don't understand this. Everybody thinks that, okay, we hit 1 million. Actually didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. Now, going this next phase, going from 1 to 3, we're going to have to really do some fancy stuff.
Mhm.
But going from 0 to the million threshold that we crossed way back, I don't see how the next phase it doesn't get any easier. But
No.
this next 1 to 3 to 5, that's gonna happen a lot slower.
Right.
But
Well, technically, in the eyes of someone like, say, Alex Hermosi, he'd be saying that you're
mhm,
only just entering the swamp.
yeah,
Like you're just walking in that $1 to $3 million swamp. That's the toughest time to be in business because all of your foundation that you've built in the past, your systems, your
hmm,
processes, the people you've hired, the vehicles, the tools, the equipment, that's where everything falls apart is in that one
yeah,
to three. It's like, if you build a foundation, you can only put so big a structure on top of it. If your foundation is too shallow or too small, it's gonna crack in that 1 to 3 million. And yeah, we've learned that the hard way a couple of times by reaching that 1 million spot. Everything falls apart. You have to rebuild, and maybe you only do 900K the next year, but
mhm.
it's way easier, it's way better, and it's way more fun. You
Yeah,
know?
I could stay here at this 1 million, 1 point. Actually, last 2 weeks we've done like 50,000 gross, 52 and then 48. So it comes out to about a 50,000 gross the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But I can maintain that pretty
Yeah.
easy. I mean, where I'm at right now, it's not the hardest thing to do. This is pretty easy, but
Mhm.
that's not the finite goal. You
Right.
want to eventually, what's the correct answer? More, right?
Yeah.
What do you want? More? Just more of whatever it is. We just want more. That's human nature. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll keep
It's like
taking it until something happens.
yeah, it's like you crush your goal or you hit a goal and you're like, all right, what's next? I'm just gonna move right past it and hit that next thing. But I think when we talk about business it's rapidly expanding, it's understanding, hey, like there's settling and there's pioneering phases. There's times where we need to fucking trailblaze, hunt to eat, you know, discover new territory, whack down the trees with a big old machete to find that new ground. But then there's also times where you need to, hey, let's build the cabin and plant the farm for a bit and just live
Hmm.
off of what we've built so far, refine our systems, and then we can get the backpack on again later. Definitely, like, I don't think people kind of see it like that because they're so in it and they're feeling it emotionally that they don't go, hey, wait, hold on a minute. Everything sucks, but it's only because I've not refined what I tried to build in the last 6 months, 12 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, they don't actually ever look back and be like, what could I have done better? They
For
just
sure.
look past on, oh, this is what I did. This is great. Let's project that moving forward. Instead of looking back, I don't actually have that view on the last year. I'm like, okay, this number that gets everybody involved in these conversations, oh, 1.3 million. No, it's a
Mhm.
fucking shit show. Last year was a shit show. Okay, I hated a majority of it. It just sounds good because of this one fucking number. Okay, I would not go back and do it that way again. I mean, with half the stress, I could do it again slower with less stress. Could have done it in a 1.5 years time and actually done it correctly and not learned a lot of very difficult lessons along the way, where you're not out there at midnight, you know? So we've done that before.
Mm.
I have yet to take a train ride where I have not been profitable on. So every time I get on the train, I'm going to go through my inbox because I have a wait list. I have a wait list of people trying to get me to run their ads. It's probably like 80 people deep of people I'm not even responding
Wow.
to. So I can't get to you. I'll get to you when I can. One,
Yeah.
because running ads, if you try to go Facebook ads, this is what you hear about a whole bunch of Facebook ad guys because it can get overwhelming and you cannot take care of them all. You
Mm.
can't. And you will end up having oversight, not paying attention to one for a couple of days. Then it burns the relationship. And you Facebook ads, you got to stay on top of.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just click them on and they go, especially now in today's market. There's a lot of stuff's going on. And you have competitors. We just encountered this. I encountered this recently in mine here in South Florida. And then I've actually seen it elsewhere another time. Facebook ads. So what you can do now is you can see somebody's ad come up on the screen. You're going to take that and click the share button, go copy that link, the URL to this platform. You're going to put it in there. You're going to pay them some money and it's going to just auto play the ad. So you think on Facebook ads, which wasn't supposed to have been done before. So
Gotcha.
people started burning up their ad budget. So now you can actually use it for competitors in your marketplace for Facebook ads.
Interesting.
It's very new, and only recently did I encounter this.
Yeah.
And there are
No.
some guys in here in the state of Florida that have been around for a little bit that are in the paver sealing and pressure washing business that learn how to do this, and they're doing it to competitors' ads.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's so cutthroat, right? Like with your competitors did. In fact, you've mentioned this on your recordings before on your Instagram because you've said that one of the biggest problems that you face is that people keep copying your videos or stealing your videos and posting
No,
them like
I
their
got it
own.
even worse than that now. So they used to take our pictures and videos, and I have an individual right now that is actually telling customers that he is NanoSeal. I have been getting the phone calls. I'm getting them from when he door to door sells. I'm with Nano Seal, blah blah blah. Whenever, and there's actually it's more than one person, but and then I'm dealing with another customer down here who is going to sue this individual for telling him he was with Nano Seal when he really wasn't. And I'm actually firing off a lawsuit today at 5 p.m. It's supposed to go up, so it'll go up Monday, but this was
Yeah.
their deadline today at 5 p.m. So while we were on this call, that would be the deadline would have been reached for him to respond and respond to my cease and desist for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
crazy.
crazy because we
It,
have, I mean, most of these customers, when a competitor is going to go to their house, they're going to know who we are.
yeah.
I'm pounding your platforms with information. You're going to see my face. If I walk down the street here for an hour, if I were to click, actually, I tell you that. If I were to click my ads on right now, if I click my ads on right now, and I go down this street, like while they're really running, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I just seen you on the thing." Get it all the time. The taco place I go down here, they'll tell me all the time, "Hunter, we see you all the time on the internet." It's so nice. And
Yeah.
I had some people take a picture with me the other day. I was like, "Oh, that was awesome."
Amazing. Do
Yeah.
you not find do you never tell yourself like, the imitation is the biggest form of flattery? Are
Oh
you not
yeah.
like a little bit proud that you've got something so good that these mofos
I
on it.
actually don't even care if it didn't affect my business.
Right.
If it didn't affect my business and you did an awesome deliverable job, do it all you want. The problem is you have a driveway across the street that we did and tinted, and then the customer's calling or trying to find out why theirs doesn't look like that. And finally, they pick up the phone and call me because they lost the guy's number. I was like, I don't even know who you are.
Right.
I don't even know who you are. So what happened now? Why doesn't your driveway look? Give me your address. Type it in. I don't even. We don't even have you in the
It's not
system.
my system.
I
Yeah.
didn't do. I didn't do your job.
Mhm.
He said nano seal. Where's your receipt? I didn't. I paid him cash. I didn't. That's your first warning sign. We don't take cash.
Oh,
I have a bunch of other reasons other than just transactionary bullshit. But given my history and an arrest record, I don't ever want a customer to say they overpaid or did this or something weird going on.
mhm.
Because if you put me against anybody else when it comes to your word, I've been convicted of crimes of dishonesty. Nobody's going to believe me. So I do a lot of things above and beyond what other people are going to do it for as far as integrity goes just
Mhm.
because I fucked a majority of my life up. Okay? I fucked it all up. So I have to do extra bullshit here for self insulation.
Yeah.
And a customer's not going to give me their credit card over the phone. I'm sorry, I can't take that. I know you can type it in on your side through your system. That's it. I will not, you cannot tell me your credit card and I'm not taking cash
Right.
personally. Now Jack can go take cash because he's a good man. You know, Jack, my business partner, good man. You know, anybody would be honored to be in business with him. Great guy. You cannot
Mhm.
say more good things about him. He's got a good family, good support system. His girlfriend's awesome. Like he's just a good guy. You know, what more could you ask for? He don't get mad when I'm bitching and screaming. It's the best. Because when
Mhm.
I'm mad, that's the best thing to do it. Is just shut up.
Yeah.
Just
100%.
shut up.
How did you guys pick roles for the business? Was it just natural for you to be in
Yeah.
sales and him
We
operations? Or
never, I mean, we have a defining, agreement on what we actually do,
Mhm.
but no, I don't know anybody that can do all the things that I do. Even I have a complex a complex amount of skill sets that I am actually I don't know if I'm elite at them, but I'm very, very good at them.
Yeah.
So, you have beginner, intermediate, advanced, and elite. I'm definitely an advanced on a lot of things when it comes to digital marketing, uh, AI integration, a bunch of other stuff. I can write code at some type of Neanderthal level. I can
Mhm.
do a bunch of the stuff that other people cannot do. And on top of that, I can get people to stop scrolling their Facebook page and look at me when it comes
Right.
to a Facebook ad.
I love
And that's
that.
the most important part.
Do you think
Jack
it's
can't even get in front of the camera.
Do you think the difference between advanced and that elite that you said, do you think that that's got anything to do with how passionate you are about it?
Um, I'm sure it's just like anything else. Once I get onto something, I have this innate ability to comprehend it, and I've always had that. And I really think it comes down to my developmental years. So I don't know if people don't really know this. I played classical piano at an elite level. So from when I was a kid, I had this piano teacher, and she always like instilled a type of learning to where you're not force fed the information and you have the ability to improvise on it. And even my brother, who's a practicing attorney, it doesn't have these comprehensive abilities that I've always had. I've always had them, as far as I know.
Mhm.
And I don't think I was born with them at this level. I think I just worked on them throughout my developmental years because I don't know if you know this, but playing the piano from 3.5 years old all the way up until high school, it's through your developmental years, it can raise your IQ 3 points a year. So, and playing it at an elite level, like world class level. I mean, I have it. This is a piano right behind me underneath this thing right here, and you can't even see it. So, what's it called? Doing that does create a lot of synapse connections that other people don't have. And I think that comes down to my ability to comprehend information.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you combine that with a camera presence and charisma and, you know, a motivational factor that I actually want to go and do this. And I'm making up for lost time. It's a mixture to make for success at this moment. As long as I don't do heroin, we're good. No heroin, Hunter. Stop doing heroin. Great, thanks. I've done that. So here we are.
Yeah. I love that, man. I feel like because you have got such a colored past that even just conversations, like just the perspective that you have is a perspective that not a lot of people have, as
Nah.
business owners, Um, but I actually read something really interesting the other day, and they said that the fact that you have Google Maps on your phone now, people are forgetting even just simple routes. They map themselves to go
Mhm.
absolutely everywhere, and it's decaying your brain, because you're not exercising it. I think that's.
Yeah, it's called being rote taught. So it's a different type of teaching procedure.
Mhm.
And having complex thought processes about any information, whether it be redundant or complex, you have to have some type of way to problem solve and analyze the information in front of you. And some people, one, weren't born with the abilities to do so, two, never learned them, three, don't care, or, some people aren't smart enough to even
Right.
do this. And we are
Mhm.
in a trade where people aren't college graduates. So we're dealing with no offense to people out there. A majority of people are of average intelligence in our trade. They're really just trying to get out there and provide for their family, and that's more power to them. Rather than working a 9 to 5 job, they're out there doing whatever they can to get more for their family, rather than just the bare minimum 9 to 5. They're actually going out there and hunting and gathering for their food rather than having it be force fed to them. I would almost argue that having a 9 to 5 job is being lazy. You 9 to 5, you've really given up on all your goals, dreams, and ambition. I'm just going to be stuck taking this salary. This is the drug they're giving me to stop chasing my dreams. Boom,
Yeah.
salary. People out there getting it on their own. I don't care what got you in that situation, regardless. You're out there getting it on your own. More power to you. And if
Mhm.
anybody ever calls me for help, I need help with this, blah, blah, blah. I got tons of information, and I'm not like some of these other people where I'm going to tell you the wrong shit. I'm going to
Right.
tell you the right shit because regardless if I tell you, I know at a subconscious level you are never going to be able to do what I do. I know this. I know this more than anything else. And you're not going to work hard this. I can tell you it in good faith, knowing that you can actually go practice these things. And if it helps you, that's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah. When people come to me as a coach as well, they're looking for, they're looking for the next step, that one next step that they need to become 1% better. I'll
Hmm.
chat to somebody for an hour and I'll give them, here's 10% of what I know about marketing. Here's 10% of what I know about recruitment. Here's 10%. But if I was to ask you, hey, Hunter, teach me how to run a $1.3 million paver ceiling company in an hour without all of the bullshit, give me all the good stuff. Like, that would be really hard for you to do.
Yeah.
So all I'm really looking for in these situations is, just try and become 1% better each day. Learn one golden nugget
Hmm.
that will solve a problem for you, or implement one system in your business that will fix something that's dragging you down or dragging you back into that technician mode,
Hmm.
you know? And for you, like, you're totally in that. If you can comprehend those complex thought patterns, you know, even better, you'll be able to look at this business, you'll look at the year that you had before, and yeah, you hit 1.3 million, but you'll be like, we did some dumb shit that we thought were good
Hmm.
ideas at the time.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, you rather scale slower than faster. You
Mhm.
rather scale slower than faster. You rather scale slower than faster. Take
Mhm.
it from me, somebody who has failed scaling on multiple different occasions because one, my ego and pride will get in the way of things, and I think I can do this. Ha! But it's not you that's doing it, motherfucker. It's the rest of your team, and they will let you down if you don't. If you think you can do it faster, regardless
Yeah.
of my individual efforts. Something else. You rather just do it slow because these people don't. They don't have the abilities that you do, or comprehend the things that you do, and
Yeah.
that's all it comes down to.
Yeah, and I think we do get stuck in that mindset of thinking that we always need to be the most important people in the business, or we need to know everything in the business because that's what makes us special. But to me, in my business, I was like, screw that. I want to be the dumbest, slowest, and least important person in
Hmm.
my business. That way my phone doesn't ring and I can just work on the stuff that, adds $1 million year over year.
I
Or,
agree.
you
My
know,
guys never even see me. They never even see me. No,
yeah,
there's guys that I haven't seen in weeks.
yeah,
No, they don't even know. All they know is that I do this and that's about it. And I talk with Jack and Jack deals with it. We have company group chats. We got this thing pretty dialed in. It's easy. I know how much money I'm going to bring in every day. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about looking at price tags at the store. I can just tap my phone and go about my business. And that is something that I'm desperately trying to avoid. I never want to have to do that ever again. I never.
That's actually a really good segue because I do want to talk to you about your pricing and your sales strategy, and I want you to take me back to the beginning of NanoSeal. Like, how has your pricing changed from when you first started to where it is now? Because we do want clients believing in the service so much that they're not worried about price objections.
Mhm.
What's your pricing strategy? What tells you that you're
All right.
charging the right price?
We can get into that. You people are worried about price objections. I have competitors that I'm beating over the head so bad on jobs right now, getting my conversion is so much higher than theirs. One, they're undercutting the market, and they're the same people that are telling you not to undercut their market. They're that guy,
Right.
and they're showing my customers my mug shots before I get there, and I'm still coming. I'm having to overcome sales objections, price objections, and that. So if I can overcome both those things, I have a customer just left me a 5-star review earlier today that I had. What's it called? I literally had to overcome that. There was a $420 price difference in price,
Mhm.
as well as encountering that. So, and she ended up going the job with me. One, because I actually lead with this stuff, you know this, but I just find it pretty humorous. So it comes down to the comprehend. They know our market down here is actually increased. You think the Miami, South Florida market? We are actually pushing the price upwards. And don't let
Nice.
anybody tell you difference. The price is going up around here. Now, Miami, no. Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach County, it is going up.
Yeah.
Probably 10, 11, maybe even 15 cents in some area from where it was when I got here a year ago. And that
Wow.
is the truth of it. We start at $1.15 a square foot and go up from there. We're the worst price in the state, but it has gone up. I mean, we're squeezing $1.50 on some scenarios. We're getting to where some of these other areas are, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
So,
That's
it's
yeah, that's interesting because I mean I always feel that a lot of clients when I tell them I'm like, hey, if you're converting at 60 or 70% or even 80%, that's the leading indicating number that you have got room to put your pricing up.
yeah, your price is too low. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's too low.
absolutely. Um, so how did you figure out the right pricing? Like where you're at now, like are you comfortable with it?
I Yeah, I watch my conversions. I want them to be about 42%. If they're at 46%, I'm fine with that. I want them about 42%. Um, in reality, I do so many estimates. We do so many estimates. I'm looking for a customer. I don't want to go to a job that's $1,000. I really don't. I'm looking for the customers that are 1,800 and up. The 1,800 makes sense to me. Makes a lot of financial sense. I will turn. I will push. I will send other guys jobs and say, "Hey, here you go. You can go do this." What's it called? But I want an average ticket. I'm trying to get a $2,500 average ticket.
Right.
Last 2 weeks, we're working these massive HOAs. That's why our weekly gross revenue is so high. We're doing tens of thousands of square foot a day right now,
Gotcha.
and so that makes it pretty easy. But you just want your business easy to manage. If you can count on those inbound leads, man, if you can count on leads, it'll make your life so much easier. So much easier.
So let's talk about that for a second, Hunter, because when I
Hmm.
teach marketing systems to home service businesses, we try and leverage three different tactics, right, or three different categories of marketing. We'll go short term, which is your ground game stuff like your door hangers, your lawn signs, your wrapped vehicle, like anything that you can go and throw out while you're on a job site and you're good to go. Then we'll talk about things like SEO, PPC, your online ads, social media, your content. And then we'll
Hmm.
talk about building relationships and networking, right? Like the three strategies: short
Yeah,
term, mid term, long
you
term.
have them right there. That's stage one, two, and three. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that look like for you? Is there anything that you're doing that's profoundly different from anyone else, like other than the content? Or are you just following
Uh,
most of the traditional systems with more focus on putting good ads out there? You're paying attention to the ads.
yeah.
What does that look like for you?
I mean, I've technically wrote a book on this, but I have not released it. It's called The Blue Collar Influence, and it's basically my in-depth analysis on social media marketing for trades and services. So I don't know if I'm ever going to release it. I kind of just did it as a thought project, like for personal use. But then the more I was getting down into writing this analysis, and I got 12 chapters, I'm like, well, this might be an actual book here, because I've done it over the course of this last year, pull things from here, this, that, and the other. But blue collar influence, social media marketing for trades and services. So it basically sets you up influencer style marketing in your local municipality, local districts, county service area, right?
Gotcha.
So you are going to set yourself up as the go-to person, and your name is going to be synonymous with whatever it is you are selling. And you are going to hammer these ads down their throat until they don't want to see them anymore. Okay. I mean, you're going to run these ads constantly. 300,000 people see my face in a 12-mile radius every 30 days. That's pretty good little number right there.
Yeah.
But inbound, whenever you bring your inbound leads, I've set up AI to where it's able to communicate with my customers. So I have appointment setting now. So instead of having somebody in-house that's taking up money or commission based appointment setting, I've now turned that towards bot integration, so AI integration. And this AI talks to customers exactly how I would talk to customers. It's
Right.
pretty well learned thus far, and it sets my appointments. So if I have ads running, it's going to take my clients and put them all on one day, or whatever day I decide to go run leads, and it's going to put them in a row. I go knock them out, boom. So I'm able to manage more time elsewhere because I am trying to buy my time back. Managing all the things that I manage personally is a lot for anybody, let alone, it's a lot to do. I mean, I'm up at 3:45 a.m. I go to the gym and I start work before my guys start work. And I am bloodshot eyes most of the time because I'm trying to do more with the little time especially the time as I'm trying to get back the time that I wasted all those years, because I can never get that back, but at least I can make up for it now. And
Yeah.
I know that if I'm getting up at these hours, I know who isn't getting up at these hours, my competitors, because I'm trying to shove it down their throats just as much as I'm trying to make myself better.
Yeah.
I'm motivated by a greater, I want to make myself better and make people proud of me and help others around me and this, that, and the other. But sometimes I'm motivated by hatred as well. I have this deep, sometimes hatred is a powerful motivator. Whatever I got to tell myself to get my eyes open in that morning to get moving, I'm going to tell myself. And
Yeah.
I live by myself. I don't have people over here all the time. I'm pretty much running like a lone wolf type thing, but I have all of these moving parts around me within my vicinity that I'm constantly in communication with.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much alone most of the time, going here, that, and the other, and having my communications with others around the area. So I have nobody else to rely on but myself to get my ass up out of bed, get in front of those camera, get those leads.
Yeah. Let's say that we were to strip social media away completely, like social media, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, like anything digital. If we could just completely take that away from you, like how would you market your business?
Door to door. I would put together a door-to-door team just the same way that solar does. That's exactly what I started doing. Even though that's your third stage of marketing, your first stage of marketing, Facebook, Google. Second stage,
Yeah.
referrals. However you want to get referrals. Your third stage is your guerrilla style. And that is within door-to-door is within inside of there. I
Gotcha.
would put together a commission-based door-to-door sales team, 5 to 10 people. Actually, I mean, even if you suspended my Facebook ads right now, I would go and put together a door-to-door sales team. I would take a bunch of whoever wants to come. I would give you the gist. You are basically an appointment setter. I would literally set you up. I would go out there with you. I'm with you. You are going to knock all these doors. Some people are on this side of the street, some people are on this side of the street, and I'm going to be in the middle. You get somebody that wants an estimate, here I come. I'm the closer. You are
Yeah.
the appointment setter. I'm the closer. Because in more complex operations, there's 4 stages of this sales procedure,
Wow.
including, you got your appointment, you got your freaking sales guy, and then you got a closer. You actually are splitting these up in multiple trades sometimes.
Yeah.
People are just, appointment setting is a big deal when you get up into a lot of these companies.
Hmm.
You got your sales guys, your hype man. getting your customers excited about your product, getting your customers, this is why I'm better than the other person. And you always got to separate. You don't never want to have apples to apples comparison. You are doing something different. Nano Seal, this guy right here, this guy with this freaking logo on is different from the 100 other guys that might come over here and give you an estimate. We are not the same. We are proprietary.
Trailblazers.
Proprietary. There's some part of this process here that's proprietary. And I'm not going to say what it is about us, but there is parts of our process that is proprietary. And there are more things coming in the future that are completely exclusive to NanoSeal and will never be duplicated. Door to door. That is it.
Yeah. A lot of people think, hey, that's so much effort. I'm not going to bother because it might not work. Like, what would you tell someone who said that?
Don't be a pussy. Fuck is wrong with you? I know what happens. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I don't know how many times you say it. If you don't have faith in yourself to get out there and do it, I can't help you. But you could literally go in local groups, people looking for jobs, and just publish a listing. Get like 4 or 5 people out there. Give them the gist on what they're doing in the morning. And literally, this is the procedure to do. They don't need to know how to do it. They just need to be able to set that appointment with you.
Yeah.
You want appointment setters on door-to-door sales. If you wanted to put together a door-to-door sales team today, you have no money, no revenue, no nothing. Commission-based appointment setters. They're really door-to-door sales. Get them to knock on doors, and then you come behind them and close them. All right. As soon as they wave at you, oh, this customer wants an estimate. You come over there and you can close the deal. That's it. They don't know about the process. They don't know anything, but at least they can get those appointments. Get 4 people out there, and y'all hit a whole street. You can walk for days.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's the law of variables, right? Like the law of variables is that if you knock on 100 doors, one will say yes.
That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to knuckles on doors. You're just trying to get as many as you can. It's a numbers game, but I guarantee you it works. That's what I did. I went out there with 5, 6 people just walking up and down the street from rehab, man. Let me tell you, straight out of rehab. Nobody got nothing to do. Nobody got no jobs. They have to go to rehab to the program for 3 hours a night. Let's go to work. I got you.
I'm going to ask you. We'll start to wrap things up here, man. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, and one is going to be about the biggest mistake that you think guys in the home service business are making. So, Hunter Kemp, right? You've grown this big business. You've made some mistakes. You've been through the struggles of being an entrepreneur in the home service space. In your opinion, what is the biggest mistake that home service business owners are making right now?
This is the easiest answer. People are scared of what to try things because they are scared to get in front of the camera because they are scared of their perception of others. So they're too scared to try something because they don't want people to know that they failed at it, right? And I see that all the time. I don't want to get in front of the camera. I don't want to do this. That is your number one most leverageable asset. You can get in front of more eyeballs and get in front of the camera and lower your cost per message and lower all these different variables just by doing one thing. And people are scared to do it. You asked me a second ago, what do you tell people that are scared to get on doors? It's not going to work. How do you know if you never don't try it? People are scared to try things because they're scared of their perception of others or what other people want to say about them. Broke people, worried about broke people, what other broke people are saying. Just do it. Yeah. I'm telling you, all you have to do is try. And when you try your best. That is it.
Screw it up. And then learn from that mistake. Knock on the next door. Don't do what you did on the last one. Try again.
I mean, they sit there and they wait for the right moment until that moment passes them by. They do it all the time. I mean, I'm throwing so much shit at the wall and seeing what sticks half the time. And then I'm telling everybody, hey, this is what I did that works. Check this fly shit out. So, and it's really, I'm just not scared to try it. And that's really what it is. I had nothing to lose. I didn't have shit a year ago.
Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna pivot here just now as well, but I want to keep in mind and throw a bone to some of those guys that are maybe just walking into this trade, right? They're walking in amongst a bunch of guys who are going to eat them alive and give them bad advice. If you had to start over in a new city with absolutely no reputation, no capital, no nothing, right? What would your 90-day game plan be to rebuild what you've built there in South Florida? How would you rebuild it again in a new city?
Same thing I did before. No, I've already gone over this. Same thing I freaking did. I have no equipment, no money, no nothing, and I'm, like the 90-day millionaire, whatever they do, 30-day million, that show where they take these
Yeah, yeah,
CEOs. I do the same thing. I go get some people, stick them on doors, and leverage that bullshit again. I would do the same thing, pay commission based door to door salespeople, go get them in uniforms, at least stick them out there looking nice, wear
yeah.
slacks, go hit some doors, and I would follow them procedure down the street and I'd build it from there. Sub out the pressure washing work and go from there. But literally, it
Okay.
starts if you had no money today, hit doors. If you have some money, run Facebook ads. No money, but if you have no money, you got to get on them doors. It's free for you. It's if you're just one operator and you can't
Mhm.
talk to people or get people to coordinate, get the doors, hit the doors yourself. I
Yeah.
promise you it'll work. While you're on the door, you can find something to do. Be like, I can pressure wash your driveway for this much. I can soft wash your roof. I can clean your windows for this much a window. There are so many things there you could sell,
Mhm.
and you don't have to be all high energy giving them a sales pitch. You can almost do it hat in hand. I need the work. This was the best way I knew how to do it. And I apologize for hitting your door. You could do it that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is an admirable approach. I'm not on the corner begging for money. I'm not selling drugs. I'm trying to make a legitimate living out here, and people appreciate that. It doesn't, your pride doesn't have to be hurt doing that if you have no money. Knock on that door. Be, the person that you can express how you're feeling because that's a genuine reaction. You don't have to be all this hype salesman getting on a door. You can let people see you who you are. You don't have to be embarrassed for it.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, I'm sitting in my house right now, and if a power washer or a window cleaner or somebody came and knocked on my door right now, I would have something for them to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do it myself, but I also don't want to just pick up the phone and call because I don't
Yeah.
really need it. But if somebody showed up today, I'd pull the trigger 100%.
Yeah. There's a lot about convenience.
Hmm.
For the sake of convenience, here I am. I'm just starting out. You don't have to pay me until it's done. No deposit. I will perform this service. If you don't like it, I used to that was actually the big part of my pitch. You don't like
Hmm.
it, don't pay for it. It even
Yeah.
says that at the bottom of my terms on my invoice nowadays. If it is not 100% of what I say it's going to do, charge it back. Okay.
All right. Well, let me wrap things up with one final question for you, Hunter. I do want to be respectful of your time, but you touched on this a little bit. But what's next for NanoSeal? Like, where do you see the business going in the next 12 months or couple of years? Are you thinking franchising, more locations? Like, how are we going to see you grow over the next 12 to
Okay.
24 months?
This morning, this morning, the first thing I did was I had a meeting with the third investor I've seen this week. They're private equity. Now we're trying to assume non-venture debt, which is debt where we don't have to give away equity, but I'm willing to do that for a better agreement. For leveraging and moving towards franchise. We are franchising, but first, I think I am going to end up partnering with some people who already have pressure washing paver sealing companies and just rebrand their businesses in
Right.
their local spots. That's probably going to be first, even though we're moving towards franchising. I mean, I made one little announcement the other day and I had like 12 inquiries about it. And it's just picking the better people. Now on top of that, we do have our own products. So we need to make sure, I said this a second ago, that no customer is never comparing an apples to apples estimate. Okay?
Right.
There's no price objection if that person can't offer this. So we're the
Yeah.
only one. I'm sorry. NanoSeal has NanoSeal products. NanoSeal using NanoSeal paver sealer. NanoSeal is using NanoSeal algicide and sand. Even if it's just a white label, it's still your own product. You can't say this product is backed by the manufacturer. Like another company. Oh, this product over here, I'm gonna spray down seal thing. It's backed by the manufacturer. Oh, okay. Well, I know you. I don't know the manufacturer. Hey, I'm spraying NanoSeal. Well, guess who's at your front door? NanoSeal, and it makes it a lot more simpler transaction from the top down.
Which will also make it easier for you to upsell that warranty as well because it's your product to give a warranty on.
Yes, it's your product, and I see a benefit to upselling a 5-year warranty. Crazy as this sounds, I'm probably going to get shit for this, but you're not selling a straight 5-year warranty. Okay, what you're doing is you're selling your basic spray. Then you're selling a recurring system that puts it up to the 5-year warranty guideline before you have to do it. So you're going to come back and soft wash and respray throughout that time period, but you're getting those people on that recurring revenue system to where they're clicking your bank account every money with a $29.99 transaction, because those add up. If you're doing 150 customers a year and half of those are giving you $29.99 a month for a warranty upsell, that's a pretty good statistic to go on.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just looking at things through traditional means, and you have these people that are going to tell you they've been in the industry for a while, the old heads, blah blah blah. They're going to tell you this won't work. Well, how do you know if you never tried it? Okay, because they've never tried it, and I guarantee you, any type of recurring revenue system where you know you're in constant communication with that client, just go back and spray a little seal over there and fix it. These products, 2-part urethane sealers, last, and they are amazing. You can respray over it. You can manipulate it as you need to. You can soft wash it down, spray some more, go about your business. And it's even in the deep Florida heat, 2-3 years is all you're going to get. Well, congratulations. You just upsold this warranty for a significant amount of money because they're paying it long term. So it's almost like you're getting paid for this job twice, but they're spreading out their payments. And people don't pay attention to $19.99 payments. They care about that big ticket of $1,500, but I can now make that $1,500 $2,300 over the next 3 years for, X amount of dollars.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. And if anybody who's listening to this podcast does want to get more of an insight into what subscription-based services are available to you, I break it down in the last podcast where we cover everyone from renovators all the way through to plumbers and, pressure washers, painters, all that stuff. Like, there are MRR systems available for you to implement that will help you keep your cash flow freaking solid in the slow seasons, right? But yeah, I have been following along for a while, and I was kind of keen to get your insights. I love the brand. I love the purple color. I love how you've built this, and I think you're definitely the big personality behind the business. So I'm excited to watch you grow, man.
There's two others right now that are doing it the same way. Take Pride in Jacksonville and Fortress Paver Sealing. Both of those guys, regardless of how much shit they get in these groups, those kids, they got it. Okay. I don't want to hear nobody say nothing. They're just a hater. Okay. Take Pride in Jacksonville and Fortress over in Tampa. They're both doing their stuff the same way that I'm doing, that influencer style. And let me tell you, that's going to make them dominate both of their markets. I mean, Lucas is killing it. They're both killing it. Love them both.
We'll send them an invite and we'll see where it goes. Thanks so much for your time, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys grow.
Definitely appreciate it, man. It was a good time.